Hey guys, this is Dennis, the founder of Think Here.
And this is Roth, your straight-up reviewer.
And this is our review of Lost Season 6, Episode 5.
Lighthouse.
So let's start off with the alternate timeline of Jack. All right, so like some of the questions that are brought up from this alternate timeline with Jack is also, okay, the first one is with the appendix scar.
Yeah.
Where he doesn't remember it happening. It's very similar to Kate and Claire, where Claire is remembering Aaron's name,
right,
and not knowing why she's calling out that name. So we get this kind of like a crossover between these two realities.
Yeah, whereas he doesn't remember why he has that scar.
Yeah. So like, is it like part of his memory? Kind of like the one from Jack of the regular timeline type of thing. Well,
the timelines are meant to be coming together.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be that they just merge or one gets knocked out.
Yeah. And then also the other mystery to be is who did Jack marry? Who's the wife that he divorced that he had the kid with?
I think it's Juliet.
Yeah, I think it's Juliet as well. Other people have said Anna Lucia. People have said Libby.
I think it's going to be someone that he had a relationship with in one way or another, and he always had the question mark of the relationship with Juliet. You know, he always had chemistry with Juliet. So if it's not her, then I don't see what the point is, because I think they're trying to show that their lives are sort of coming together.
But I noticed that his kid David had some light eyes. Even though he had dark hair like Jack's, I noticed he had light eyes. So.
Yeah, like Juliet.
Yeah.
Okay, so this week with Jack, just sort of thematically, it was two things. One, parenthood was a huge thing. And Jack kind of has, you know, he said on the island, I'd be a terrible father. And then we see him kind of redeeming himself as actually a really good father with his son, flawed, but loving and a really good dad overall. And then his son was reading Alice in Wonderland, Lewis Carroll. He was reading Anne Through the Looking Glass. And so that's kind of interesting to me, because then they go to the lighthouse where they see through the looking glass his other life. In terms of parenthood, we saw it literally with his son, but Jack that's kind of his thing. You know what I mean? He's always been trying to parent kind of
the island. Like the people on the island.
The people, the survivors, not really the others, but the survivors parent them, and he's constantly felt like he was failing, and he constantly felt like he failed his father, you know, and what and then Jacob uses the line, you have what it takes. So, which is the thing that he's been looking for his whole life.
Yes, because his dad always asks him that question.
Do you have what it takes? You know,
and he's always trying to live up to that.
And he constantly feels like he's failing, which eventually, as we see now, the pressure that he puts on himself in that regard broke him.
And also, you see kind of a parallel with his own son in the alternate timeline.
Yeah, who's trying to live up to him.
Yes, who he says he doesn't want to fail in front of him. So.
And that's when he sort of, the good parent comes out in that moment. Since these are the people we're looking at right now, what they have in common, Kate, Jack, and Locke, is that they're never satisfied. They're always striving, they're always trying to do more, they're always trying to take on more than they necessarily should.
Yeah.
Or that's even beneficial ultimately to the situation.
Yeah.
You know, Kate's always sort of trying to be a little bit of a savior, you know.
Yeah, with her mother.
Well, with her mother, with everybody.
Yeah.
She's always the one that, I'm going after them. I'm going into the jungle. I'm going to hit the trails running. And redemption a little bit. And Locke is always looking to be accepted, loved, and ultimately held as special. But we see like Sawyer, who's unfortunately now with the man in black, Sawyer and Juliet were willing to live life, you know? They were willing to be satisfied and happy, even joyful, with just the simple, mundane realities of life. Those three, never. It's interesting because the way they're playing Jacob, or the way they're creating Jacob, writing him, and the way he's playing it is sort of like how we've often seen deities be portrayed, you know? They're a little bit mysterious. They're ultimately there with you, but won't decide for you or tell you too much.
Yeah, and manipulate you as well in small ways to lead you.
Well, yeah, I mean, it depends on how to lead you on the path. It depends on how you look at it, because, I mean, I don't know if he's good or bad at this point, you know, or if it's that black and white, but ultimately, and he's sort of watching over through the looking glass, you know, he's been watching over their lives, but not necessarily, has he been doing much to manipulate them? I don't know. He just shows up. He says very little to them, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, look at what he does with Hurley. I mean, he's making him... You know, he gave him with the guitar case. He's the one who got him to the island. He's not manipulating, but he's
driving everything.
Yeah.
And they're following him without question.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll do these things and just, not Jack so much, but but they'll do these things and just not really question why. I think he manipulates everything on the island very clearly with the others and the list and all that, but during their lives prior to them getting there, it's unclear whether he was just observing or instructing.
Then we get to the regular timeline with them being at the temple and stuff like that.
The one thing that he did say too that I liked was the idea that some people you can just get in a cab and tell them what to do, and then some people just have to figure it out for themselves, you know?
Yeah, and so that's what Jacob is doing with Jack. He's trying to get him to figure it out himself.
What his purpose is.
Yeah, and so we get to see the lighthouse with the mirrors, and now we know what the numbers mean.
Yes,
the
degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The angle of how the mirror should be, and you can see through, I guess, see each person's name. One note is Kate's name was actually on this list. It was 51. But it's not part of the sequence of numbers that they've always been talking about, punching the numbers, the lottery thing.
So what is with Kate? What's her weird outside special role?
All right, and then so we have the 108 degrees, which is, I guess, this name Wallace that we've never heard of before.
Which, this could be the guy that Jacob's trying to get to the island at this point, and who knows what role he's going to play, you know?
Yeah, this is the person he keeps saying, this person's coming, you know? We don't know if it's maybe someone we already know before and they have like a different name.
A different name, or...
Like with Desmond, maybe is this like Desmond's other name, you know? Could, you know, Widmore could be a possibility.
I don't know if this will have any significance, but with Lost, you never know. But 108 is actually like kind of a pretty significant number, theologically speaking, especially in Hinduism. There's like 108 names for the goddess, 108, sometimes you chant things, 108 in Buddhism, to the goddess of compassion, you can chant her name 108 times.
I don't think it's a coincidence because also you have, remember the button was every 108 minutes. You had to press it every 108 minutes. So I don't think it's a coincidence. Let us know who you think it might be that's coming to Island. Someone new or someone that we've seen before. And then we get to the Claire and Jin storyline, which we learn that Claire's friend is actually the fake Locke. My friend. Yeah, good thing, somebody said, good thing that Jin speaks Korean, English, and crazy, because, man, she has gone cray off her rocker. Yeah, with her relationship with the fake Locke / Smoke Monster, then we're wondering, did Rousseau, who, you know, she's obviously being patterned after, did she have this similar relationship? Yeah, you know, it's hard to say because Claire... To me, Claire seems even crazier than Rousseau. You know, I mean, really violently insane, like, go to Shutter Island and be locked up. But the one thing that I think is strange is, even though Rousseau was crazy, she was not necessarily evil. No, she wasn't, and she wasn't beyond logic or reason, you know? She just seemed like, really, I mean, if you had been living on that island by yourself for that many years, you'd sort of act that way too. And also in Rousseau's case, they did take her child. Yeah. They did have her child. Well, but here's the thing. In Claire's case, they did take her child too for a while. Yes. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they would have heir. Why would she trust the others? Why would any of them trust them at this point, you know? All right, guys, so that's what we thought. You can post your comments below on the website. Or on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to the Think Hero YouTube account. Or you can follow us on Twitter. Mine is @ThinkHero. @JRossC. All right, later.